Hey, Lumpkin County. My name's Nathan Davis, and I'm running for County Commissioner. For those of you who don't know me, I'd like to tell you a little bit about who I am and where I come from. First of all, I'm a Christian. I was saved at the age of 5 and a member of the amazing Mount Gilead Baptist Church, where Les Fuller is the pastor. I've been married for 16 years to my best friend and beautiful wife, Svidlana, who works at UNG, and together we have a son, Alexander Rhett, who will be starting high school this fall. I also have a 25-year-old who lives in Alabama. I was born in 1974 in Mobile, Alabama, and I'm the youngest of 8 children. As my parents like to remind me, I was a surprise. I come from a military family. There were 4 boys and 4 girls. One of my brothers is a retired Marine, and another is retired from the Army. There are only 7 of us left now. Sadly, one of my sisters passed away in the late 90s and early 30s from a drug overdose. My dad fought in World War II in Vietnam, and after 30 years of service, he retired from the Marine Corps. If he were still with us today, he would be 102 this year. After the Marine Corps, Daddy joined the Sheriff's Department in 1972, where he also retired from there after 25 years. While there, he worked an additional 2 part-time jobs in the evenings and weekends so my parents could put the 7 of us still at home through Christian school. Before meeting my dad, my mom worked at General Motors in Cleveland, Ohio. And during Vietnam, she began writing to Daddy as a part of a letter writing campaign to soldiers over there. After Daddy returned home, they met, and the rest, of course, was history. We didn't have much growing up. We wore secondhand clothes that came from neighbors and churches. There were times when food was real scarce. Some Christmases, there wasn't much under the tree. We made ornaments out of popcorn, and we just learned to appreciate what we had. Much of my childhood was spent in a small camper and later a single-wide trailer on 20 acres at the very end of a dirt road, surrounded by a creek. Had lots of fun there. We had chickens, turkeys, guineas, and a goat that was like a dog. I actually named him Billy. Loved that goat, miss him. We also had no air conditioning, and the trailer we lived in would get toasty. You would wake up in the morning and the sheets were actually damp from the sweat. That was terrible. Thank God for AC. When I was about 9, we got a used John Deere tractor, and I loved that tractor and spent hundreds of hours on it, plowing, disking, bush hogging, and I actually tried my hand at a little bit of farming. Wasn't very successful at growing things, but I sure enjoyed trying. I'm still terrible at it today. When I was 13 years old, I asked Daddy if I could attend military school in Texas. I promised him I'd make all A's, and I did. He actually took a loan out so I could go. I remember boarding my first plane ever on the way over to Texas and seeing Daddy look so tired. I actually started crying sitting in a plane thinking how hard and long he had worked his whole life to give his kids the opportunities he didn't have. The remainder of my time at school, I earned scholarships and worked a summer as a troop handler to help pay for the tuition. After graduation, I first attended the University of Alabama and then transferred my senior year to the University of Mobile, which, by the way, is a Baptist university where I earned a degree in history of political science. So started my first 8 years as in Christian school and ended my education in Christian University. My first job out of college was the Sheriff's Department, working in the Warrants Division as a warrants clerk. And from there, I spent years working in distribution, eventually working my way to becoming Director of Operations for a large corporation and managing over 40 facilities through the Southeast. 4 years ago, we sold our house, bought a camper, lived in it with our son and our dog while I built our home right here in Lumpkin County. What we thought would be a short stay in the camper turned into 18 months. It wasn't easy, but it sure was worth it. I'm done with camping for a long time. The reason I tell you all of these intimate details of my life is simple. Guys, I'm one of you. I've spent most of my life in blue-collar industries. I've worked hard with my hands and behind a desk, struggled, built businesses, raised a family, and I've lived through many of the same hardships that families in Lumpkin County still face today. And guys, I'm not running because I want a title. I could care less about the title of County Commissioner. I'm running because I actually love this county and want to preserve our way of life for us and our children. And I want to use the experience I've accumulated throughout my career to protect our quality of life, reduce our property taxes, and work to provide career-level opportunities for local families. I would be honored and humbled to earn your vote for County Commission. Please call or text if you have any questions. I mean that. Thank you and take care.